A curious matter has arisen in the past couple decades between Christianity and fantasy fiction. With the rise of Harry Potter, there's been a disdain in Christianity for magic in fiction. This has not always been present, but then again, just because it wasn't present doesn't mean it shouldn't have been. I would like to interrogate the question of why Christians don't like magic in fiction and ask if there is any situation where it can be agreeable. First off, let's get this out of the way. I've never seen or read Harry Potter, so I don't know why there was such an objection to it. My mother didn't want my siblings and I to run off and become wizards. Her words, not mine. I have looked into the matter somewhat, but I would like to examine the matter myself. Christians do not like magic, and I don't mean in fiction or stage magicians. There are people who do claim to be actual magicians. Mediums, spiritists, witches, anyone who claims to be in contact with a higher power and is using it is condemned by Mosaic law and the Ten Commandments. We are to have no other God, but by claiming to receive abilities from this higher power, they claim a different God. To a Christian, there are only two possible answers to this person. Their power is false, or their power is demonic. Neither is welcomed by us. So that's it. No magic for Christians. Or is it? You see, fiction opens up a realm of new possibilities, and in fantasy fiction, there is allowance here for a different kind of magic, a kind of magic some of the greatest fantasy authors found no issue with. Tolkien and Lewis had no problem with including magic in their works. In Lord of the Rings, magic is not a supernatural force, but a natural force, one which the elves have been taught how to use by the Valar. Theoretically, anyone could use it, I guess, but most don't know how. And in the Chronicles of Narnia, there are many magical things, but very few outright magicians. Yes, there are beings who are of a magical sort, but they seem to use it as a natural thing. There are a few magicians, but they tend to be scholars or hermits. It seems in Narnia it is the natural suspension of natural laws. So if the magic is natural, then it's okay? Well, I'm not sure I'm willing to say that. Just because it is a part of nature does not mean we should use it flippantly. There are many poisons and venoms out there which we should not use just 'cause. And yet, if the magic is a natural thing, then its use would be subject to morality as well. And since God created the poison, is it inherently evil? I cannot think of a good use for it, but it must exist for a reason. But these poisons come from things, either as a defense to ward off predators or to serve a purpose which has nothing to do with them being poisonous. So would magic have a natural use? This is getting philosophical or maybe theological, and I'm not trained in either field, so let's get back to fantasy. I feel like since it's fiction, we can have a bit of fun. So if the magic is fun, does that make it okay? No, there are a lot of things which are fun, but we shouldn't do. I'm sure to some people, committing acts of violence are fun, but I'm not going to portray these things as good. So not everything which is fun is good. So is there a place for magic in fantasy fiction? I would still say yes, but with some caveats. First, I would say magic ought to be, in fiction, a natural force and an expression of the phrase, knowledge is power. The more you know about it, the more powerful you are. There should be some limitations on magic to distinguish magic from true miracles. And I would say a good way to distinguish it would be to say that magic is capable of prompting natural reactions, but not unnatural ones. You can light something on fire or cause a wound to heal, which could theoretically be healed, but you need fuel of some kind to burn, even if it's magical energy or such, and an injury which could never heal, like an amputation, cannot be healed by magic either. But ultimately, magic is just an ability, nothing more, and there are plenty of fields of study and abilities which put some humans above others. There's nothing inherently wrong with this, but what people do with this position can be right or wrong. So magic shall be the same. But in any case, the magic should not detract from God, but glorify God. Magic is not the answer to every problem. God is, and that's how it should be. So long as the magic follows a simple rule, it should be fine. Though I will say the summoning of spirits and the telling of the future are strictly off limits. I like this film, but I have no idea how it got Dove approved.